Hey everyone, and welcome. We are diving into a topic today that is frankly one of the most important things any parent or caregiver needs to know. We're talking about those danger signs in young children, the ones that mean you need to get help and fast. You know, when it comes to your kid's health, being able to spot these signs can truly make all the difference in the world.
So let's just put it out there. It's the question that gives every parent that pit in their stomach, right? Your child is sick, they've got a fever, maybe a cough, and you're just sitting there watching them thinking, okay, is this just a cold or is this something really, really serious? Being able to tell the difference, well, it's everything. And this right here is exactly why this conversation is so urgent. The thing about kids is they're not like us adults. Their condition can go from a little sick to seriously ill so fast, like in a matter of hours. So it might seem like a small thing can blow up into something major. That's why spotting these warning signs early, it's not just a good idea, it can literally be life-saving.
Okay, so where do we start? Let's begin with two of the most basic, most critical alarms your child's body can send up. We're going to look at their breathing and their temperature.
All right, let's get specific. What do we actually mean here? When we talk about breathing, look, we're not talking about a little sniffle or a regular cough. No, we're talking about breathing that's fast or looks like it's a lot of work. You might even see their little chest or tummy pulling in hard with every single breath. That's a huge red flag for something serious, like pneumonia. And then there's fever. The real danger sign is a high fever that just won't quit. And you have to remember, the rules change depending on how old they are. For a tiny newborn, like under 3 months, any fever over 100.4 Fahrenheit, that's 38 Celsius, is an emergency, period. For older kids, you're looking for that high fever that just doesn't respond to medicine, or it goes away and then bam, it's right back. Either of these things, that's your signal to go get help, now.
Okay, our next group of signs, and I want to be really clear about this. These are straight up, no question emergencies. These have to do with their brain, their consciousness, and how they're acting. If you see any of these, it's time to move and move fast.
So you've got convulsions or fits, which are, they're obviously terrifying and an immediate emergency. But then there's lethargy, and this one can be a little trickier. This isn't your kid just being sleepy after a long day. No, this is different. This is a child who is just floppy, weak, maybe really hard to wake up. They're just not there. The bottom line is this. Any major change in how aware or responsive your child is, that is a huge red flag.
All right, let's shift gears and talk about the signs that tell you something's wrong on the inside. Think of it as inputs and outputs, what's going in, what's coming out, and any signs of pain.
So you see these here. Each one is a big deal. If your child just flat out refuses to eat or, more importantly, drink anything, if they're vomiting over and over, or if they have really bad belly pain. Come on, you know the difference between a little tummy ache and severe pain. These aren't just minor things to watch. They can be signs of something really wrong inside. And all of them can lead to one really dangerous problem. And that problem is dehydration. It's basically when the body loses way too much fluid. And in little kids, especially those under 5, this can happen scarily fast, usually because of vomiting or diarrhea. Dehydration is a huge deal and needs medical help right away. So the big question is, how do you know? What does it look like?
Okay, so this is your checklist. These are the physical things you can actually see. Check their mouth. Is it dry and sticky? Take a look at their eyes. Do they seem kind of sunken in? Think about diapers or potty breaks. Have they made little to no pee for hours? And what about their mood? Are they super irritable or maybe seem incredibly thirsty? Any of these are classic telltale signs of dehydration.
All right, for our last group of signs, we're looking at things you can see on the outside, on their skin or things that happen because of an accident. These are the visible clues that something is wrong. Now, the key thing to remember here is the combination. A little rash by itself, maybe not a huge emergency. But a rash that shows up with a fever, that's a whole different story. That could signal a serious illness like measles or even meningitis. And then, the other stuff is pretty straightforward. Any bad burn, a serious injury, or if you even suspect they swallowed something they shouldn't have, that's an automatic trip to get help. No debating, no.
Phew. Okay. We've just gone through a ton of different signs, I know. But if you walk away with just one single idea from all of this, let it be this next one. This is the golden rule. This is what ties it all together.
There it is. That says everything you need to know. When you spot one of these danger signs, waiting to see what happens is your worst enemy. This is not the moment to try a home remedy you read about online. This is the moment for action. Quick, decisive action.
So, what's the game plan? It's simple. Just 3 steps. Step 1, recognize one of the danger signs we've talked about. Step 2, don't wait. Don't second-guess yourself. And step 3, go. Go to the nearest clinic, hospital, whatever it is, as fast as you can, because getting treatment early really, truly saves lives.
And this brings us to the final and maybe the most important point of all. At the end of the day, you know your child better than anyone on this planet. Lists like this are great. They're helpful tools. But your gut, your parental instinct, that is your superpower. If you just have that feeling that something isn't right, even if you can't put your finger on exactly what it is, trust that feeling. Go get help.
So I'm going to leave you with a question to think about. Now that you have this information, now that you know what to look for, what will you do differently next time? How will this change how you approach things? Hopefully, you feel a little more prepared, a little more confident. Thanks so much for joining me.